regarded as their patron saint. And there was a story that went around. Every time someone was making something, they'd bring it to the instructor and say, "Is this straight enough?" And Francis would just look at it and say, "Son, it's straight or it ain't. There's no straight enough." So I kind of try to do that with my blades. Sometimes they just end up being straight enough anyway. Especially if you look at that sword later. Don't look too close to see just exactly how straight it is. You don't really need a big bolster on these bell knives.
Yeah, I'm making a
There we've got it neck down. I don't want to get it any thinner than that. I don't want a sharper corner than that. When I start drawing this tang out, it'll crack on me. This will not make me happy. I've done this once using this little one-sided, either shouldering hardy, butcher hardy, whatever you want to call it. And it kind of worked, sort of. I wouldn't recommend it with a sharp edge though. If you have a flat, kind of square on there, that'd work just fine. Now comes the fun part, figuring out how much steel you're going to need to draw out that tang. Enough? Exactly.
about that much.
You done first initial start, you did the paper on it. How much did you take? You had about 4 inches?
I had about 5 inches. And I think this one's not going to be quite as long as this one. That's why I get a kick out of the times when Mark brings his originals and I can compare, because they weren't that big. And these tangs are much too long, but that's fine because once you get the handle fitted and get that little pommel nut up there, you just cut off what you need to pin that on. That much half-inch round ought to be enough to pull out the rat tail I need. Probably a little more, but it's best not to take too many chances. Here's those tongs. I was just looking for these. And I was twisting that off.
Where'd you get those tongs?
I got these from Steve Kane over at blacksmithsupply.com. They're just great. The only thing is they're made out of 4140, so if you get them hot, don't quench them. He makes the bits on the guy who makes these at Officer Forge, Grant Sarver, makes the bits with his induction forge in a fly press. He just has these with the big blob on the end. He'll stick them in his little induction forge, push the pedal, count to 5, pull it out, stick it under the fly press. There's one set. does have a roll press that he does the inside of the handles on. You got to be careful when you're first starting that, because if you don't let that blade just kind of float, you'll get that